Hi everyone, today is a special day. I'm getting my first ever library card. I've been waiting for this moment forever. And of course, I'm not leaving empty handed. I mean, just look at all these books. Since this is such a special experience, I wanted to bring you along. I'll show you the first books I borrow, share my reading process, and tell you whether or not I enjoy them.
I just came home with the goodies and I'm so excited because I cannot believe I have a library card. It's crazy. I always wanted one, but in my home country, the libraries are just not that great. The books are quite old. And in Romanian, you are not going to find English books. So here, there was actually a great selection, even though the library was quite small. And I found popular books, which was crazy. So here are my picks, just 3 books this time, because I'm trying to practice self-control, even though I was so excited since it was my first time at the library and I was eyeing like 7 books. But hey, I have to read them in 4 weeks, so I decided, you also have other things to read when you're a mood reader, so 3 it's enough for you. That's enough to get through the month. I got one from a different genre, so we have Piglet, literary fiction, Secretly Yours, romance, and Assistant to the Villain, which is fantasy. That being said, I'm very excited to start reading them, and I have 4 weeks to go, so let's begin reading. Also, I did hear mixed reviews about every single one of them, so I hope I'm gonna enjoy them.
As I'm not the biggest fan of reading indoors, I decided to take my first read and go to a cafe. If it wasn't that cloudy that day, I would have probably read outside, but I wasn't taking any chances. Lately, I've been watching Gilmore Girls because I really miss autumn, so of course I had to get hot chocolate with marshmallows. Here you can see a very awkward Katherina trying to prepare for her reading session. It was quite hard trying to decide which book I'm going to read first, but I'm currently at an episode in Gilmore Girls where Luke and Rely are not really talking to each other, so, well, romance it is. Also, can we talk about the fact that they always give you 3 marshmallows a Costa, but they fill the cup to the brim? I mean, where am I supposed to put all of them? Spoiler alert, that hot chocolate was as delicious as it looks. And now it's finally time to read. And yes, I did eat the marshmallow because I couldn't let it go to waste and it was very yummy and sweet. I must add that this book is very pretty and I love those doodles at the beginning of each chapter. Here you can see my reaction on the main characters meeting, specifically how Julian acted when seeing Hallie for the first time. And of course Hallie had some thoughts of her own about Julian. Hello, as you can tell, I'm no longer in Costa because it was kind of cold, so I went outside. But outside, well, it started to rain, and now I'm just found some shelter. And I'm just sitting here because I would like to talk a bit about the book. I read roughly 80 pages, I think, so that's like 5 chapters, and I'm not quite sure I'm liking it. Basically, this is one of those books that you'd consider a second chance romance where she remembers that they met before, he doesn't. And well, of course, they meet again, she's going to drop hints, he's gonna be like, oh my gosh, she's the most beautiful woman I've met. Wait, I met her before? Why is she dropping those hints? Honestly, I still have not recovered over that paragraph where he's just talking about her boobs. Also, they're supposed to be adults, but somehow they bond over pranking people. And he's one of those guys that would change completely for a woman. But like, they just met yesterday, okay? All of a sudden, he no longer, keeps to his schedule because he loved to make these lists. So at 7 he would do something, at 7:30 he would have dinner and all that. But well, they met and somehow he's gonna just throw the list away. Mind you, I'm still 80 pages in, okay? 80. And I did look at the reviews on Storygraph and everyone was kind of, this is average. Sometimes I just feel like romance is just not a genre for me because I see all the things that don't make sense. I spot them from a mile away and I don't enjoy it. And reading average romance is just, it's quite boring and it's annoying me. No, it's annoying me. Not boring, it's annoying me. I just hope the book is going to get better. Hi, I just want to pop in real quick and just say that it's been the weekend and I made some progress with this, but not that much just because I cannot really deal with the way the characters think and talk and just they are so childish. And I am going to have to read you something that after I read that, I just closed the book and just did something else. Watch TikToks. They were more entertaining than this. So this is how chapter 8 starts. Hallie shifted the truck into park in Julian's driveway, heartbeat wild as a jackrabbit. There he was, stretching in the front yard. Deep, long movements that had her head tilting to the right unconsciously before she realized it. Wow, she'd never seen those kind of shorts before. They were grey. Loose sweatpants material that stopped just above the knee, a drawstring hanging down over the crotch, which had to be why her eye was continuously drawn there. Among other places, he could have cracked walnuts with those thigh muscles, squeezed grapes in those butt cheeks. They were on a vineyard after all. Excuse me, this she's 29 years old and he's 33 years old, and those were her thoughts. So now I hope you understand why I had to take a break from reading this, because it just goes so cringy and awkward. But today I'm planning to finish it. I actually hope I can get to the end of this, and I'll keep you updated. Wish me luck. Oh my god, the jokes are just so bad. Please, it's so cringy. Harry actually wrote Julian a secret admirer letter. I mean, he does not know that it was her, since she wrote it and then left it next to the pad he usually takes when he goes home. And when he found it, he was like, oh, what's this? Because that's kind of weird, and it's a prank, obviously, right? Because people nowadays, they just DM people on Instagram, on social media. They don't actually write secret admirer letters. So he was very confused. She actually wrote him another letter. I don't know. Would you feel like someone is talking to you if you just received two admirer letters in this day and age? Because I think I would feel that way. So, well, he didn't take it in that sense. He is actually enjoying them now. I have to say though that Julian seems to be the more mature one out of these two, because he actually is trying to help one of the businesses that was not doing that well in this town, and that was very nice to see. That's why I kept smiling throughout. But I don't know. Hallie still acts as if she's just a child. Quick update, because Hallie just had her Hannah Montana moment, and what do I mean by that? Well, you see, Julian didn't recognize who she was because she had her hair straight back then, and now she had it curled. And apparently that changes a person a lot. 1 hour and a half later, I finally finished reading this. I mean, honestly, pat myself on the back for doing it, because I didn't think I'll get through it. I did skim read some parts. I was going quite fast just because I didn't really connect with the story or the characters at all. And maybe it's Tessa's writing, but I feel like the characters should have been younger, especially Holly, because she behaved and she was thinking exactly like a 19, 20-year-old at best, not a 29-year-old. And then Tessa decided, oh, you know what? Let's make her a virgin as well. See, that's exactly what made me realize that Hallie should have been younger, because that would make more sense. Also, she didn't really know why she saved herself for so long. I don't know, like, I feel like we didn't really get to know the characters and their decisions and why they acted the way they did. Half-baked. A half-baked romance. That's exactly how I'm going to describe this one. I feel like I'm just going to stop reading books from this author list for a while, just because my mind thinks too realistically about everything that's happening, and this is not realistic at all, and I really cannot get into the fantasy behind all of it. All I have to say that this was, I don't know, a 2-star read from me. I'm quite sad that my first read from the library was such a bad one, but I'm hoping my next one is going to be better, and I'm going to go for Piglet. Hi everyone, it's the next day, and actually I think I'm going to postpone reading Piglet and read Assistant to the Villain instead, because outside is raining and I'm really craving some fantasy, a new world to dive in and just get familiar with. It just feels very cozy at the moment. So this is how I'm going to spend my morning. I hope I'm going to make a good dent into it. I will keep you updated. So I'm only at page 8 right now, and so much is happening, and I'm enjoying that, because usually world building takes forever in fantasy books and I am just getting bored. But in this one, so the main character went from being the unemployed butcher's daughter to helping the enemy of the kingdom in 8 pages. It's just crazy. And I'm just giggling my way through, honestly. And I like how she's like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to follow the villain to his house, which is known as the Massacre Manor. Okay, I guess. I don't know. You do you, girl. I'll be here for the ride. I'm on page 52 at the moment, and I'm really loving this since the dynamic between Evie and the villain is actually so fun. Like she's a bit like quirky. She doesn't really think before she speaks, and sometimes the things she says are quite inappropriate. And well, that's funny because he's supposed to be this guy that doesn't really have a heart. And well, she's slowly melting that ice away. And breaking down his walls, and he's actually realizing it. And by the way, we are 52 pages in, right? I don't know. I really like how fast this is going. Like, I have not read a fantasy book that had so much action right from the get-go. So this is actually so refreshing. And now we're also getting his point of view, and he said about her, right? The working of her mind wasn't like anything he'd ever seen. It was almost as if every thought, every word said, made the nonsensical wheels of her mind turn until she could make sense of them in her own specific way. It was surprisingly intriguing. It was disgustingly distracting, and he hated it. I don't know. I just feel like giggling at any given point, like, I love this, okay? I love this. I love this. And you must read this if you have not, okay? This is good. And another thing I really love is the fact that Evie feels the same way about him because she said, danger isn't attractive, Evie. It's scary. Or it's both. Her brain countered. The serotonin this book is giving me is actually crazy because he just found out that she is walking to his house 2 hours each day because she cannot afford the horse, right? And he's asking her, okay, I mean, I hope you still keep that dagger in your boot, right? And she's like, yeah, I do. And then he's like, oh, good, because you never know, the kind of menacing characters you'll find along the way. And then she said, oh, I don't know. It worked out well for me the first time.
There's so many things I wish I could underline in this book. I mean, look at that one. I would never make the mistake of underestimating a woman like you. It would be a fatal one. Her heart pounded against her chest. It was the best compliment anyone had ever given her. Like, that's so sweet. Oh my god. I might need to get my own copy and underline this and annotate it because, come on, this is so good. I didn't expect to love it so much. So Evie just quit her job as working for the villain because there was a misunderstanding and she thinks she's not valued by him, which she is, but he doesn't know how to show his feelings, okay? And that made me get out of bed because I was a bit upset. But guess what? The sun is out, so now I'm going to take my reading session outside. There's one thing I really hate is coming back to UK, and it's the fact that I never know how to dress. I know it's summer, but it was rainy in the morning, and now the sun is out. Kinda. So I don't know if I need the light layer on top or if I should just be in a t-shirt. I never know how to dress. I'm all ready now, so let's go. What's quite crazy to think is the fact that up until 1 hour ago it was raining so much, but now it's so warm. Like, I'm boiling. Luckily I did use sun cream before leaving the house because this is just unbearable. But also I'm seeing some clouds coming. They're quite dark. I hope it's not gonna rain because I just came outside. Anyway, let the reading session begin. I'm at chapter 20 right now. Honestly, I've been flying through this book today. I'm just over the moon because he just apologized to her, and also he said that he has a night lamp because he's scared of the dark. I mean, hello? He's the villain? Scared of the dark? So far it's just a lot of filler information, like nothing that interesting is happening.
Never mind. I have to abort the mission of reading outside because it started to rain and I'm trying to find some shelter. I think I'm going to go under this for now. I hope it's gonna stop. For all that matters, it's raining quite beautifully today, so let's go back. I hope it's not going to rain again because the darker cloud passed, so I don't think there should be any rain now. And as usual, the sun is back and I have reached page 200 right now, so just a little bit more to go. Oh, so it's now a little bit later and I finally finished reading this, and all I have to say is that I need the next book like right now, because then you know what happens. It did end on a bit of a cliffhanger. I mean, not that bad, but I mean the ending was hilarious, by the way. It was so iconic. I really love Evie. I feel like I'm going to rate this one a 4.5 stars just because I feel like in the middle it was a bit slow. I don't know, I kind of got a bit out of it, but then it picked up again and it was good again. So, oh, and also I kind of realized who the spy is going to be just because he was a bit sus. How many times that person began to be mentioned all of a sudden, you know? But hey, I still enjoyed this one. It was great, it was good, and I need the next one ASAP. I can tell you how happy I am that my second read from the library was so good, and I'm hoping that tomorrow when I'm going to start Piglet is going to be as good as this, if not even better. I just arrived at the beach and I found quite a nice spot, but it's very windy. I'm hoping this windscreen is gonna stop that, but you know, I expected sunny today because that's what Google said, but it's cloudy and windy and I just hope it's not gonna rain. I did get a rain umbrella with me just in case. Can you believe I got a rain umbrella to the beach? Just in case, because you never know, and I don't want the book to get soaked. I do have to say I'm quite happy that I finally made it to the beach because it's been a couple of days since I haven't, and I find this very therapeutic and relaxing, and I'm enjoying it. I will set up my tripod and my camera and I will begin reading now. Alright, so I'm ready to begin my reading session, but first I would like to have a drink because I'm very thirsty and I've been meaning to try this ever since I got it like a week ago from a Korean store, but I just didn't find the perfect moment. But now, well, it seems fit. I can give you some ASMR, but I'm not sure. It's very sweet. Oh, so it's sparkling water with pomegranate flavor. I didn't even check what it was when I got it, to be honest. Just, this is what convinced me. Okay, now that I had like my third sip, I think it's a bit too sweet. Maybe slightly artificial, like I can feel the artificial pomegranate taste, if that makes sense. Now, let's begin. So I just reached page 100 and I have to say it is getting interesting just because I'm so curious what's going to happen during the wedding. I feel like Piglet took what her fiancé did a bit too well. I mean, not the best obviously, but too well. And I feel like she's just going to implode and have a massive breakdown during the wedding, and I can't wait to see how that's going to look like. And you know, all the food that's being mentioned in this book is making me hungry. I wish I got more than just snacks. I just finished reading Piglet, and if I'm honest with you, I'm not quite sure whether or not I enjoyed it. And it's because The topic was interesting, and I think it's a very well written book, but it was so slow, and the descriptions were just never ending, which made me a bit bored, and I found myself skip reading most of this. Also, I'm not quite satisfied with the ending. I feel like I never really got to know Piglet. Her actions didn't make sense. She was confused. I was confused. So I feel like I'm going to rate this one a 3 star just because it was enjoyable, but there were some faults. Overall, I had an amazing session at the beach. Although it was not as sunny as I hoped it would be, it was good. It was amazing, and I cannot believe I actually finished an entire book in one sitting. I just came home, but I thought I'm going to share with you my feelings about owning my first library card. To be completely frank, I cannot believe I can just return these books and then go and get more. And I will. I will get more, since I have not found a good romance book. This one was not the best, as you've seen, and I really need a good romance read for the summer. And the crazy thing is that I don't think I would have bought myself none of these books, but because I saw them at the library, I was like, okay, I'll give them a go because I did see them around on Bookstagram. I mean, come on, out of these 3 books that were my first picks from the library, one was a 4.5 star read. That's just amazing. All in all, I would like to thank you so much for following along, and I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye!